Mathematics paper 3F 2023. Question number 1. Write the number 3,107 in figures. 3107. Write 3/10 as a percentage. To change to a percentage, a fraction to a percentage, you times by 100%. 100 divided by 10, and then you times 3, you get 30%. Simplify. So it's like 1m plus 1m plus 1m plus 1m. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 4m. Question 4. 400 grams to kilometers to kilograms. Grams to kilograms. You divide by 1,000. So you get 4. Write this number in order of size. So -5 is the smallest, and then -2, and then 3, 7, 9. Question 6, find the area of the shape. It's a centimeter grid. You just count how many of those little centimeter boxes. So each one is 1 centimeter squared. So you count of them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So the area is 14 centimeters squared. Find the perimeter of the shape. Perimeter is the distance around the shape. So you count 1, 2, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 6 plus 2 plus 4. So because 6 plus 2 is 8, plus 4 is 12, plus 1, 13, plus 2, 15, plus 3, 18. Number 7, here is a 4-sided spinner. Choose the word that best describes the probability that the spinner lands on 2. How many 2s are there? 1, 2, in a total of 4. So 2 out of 4 is 1/2. So it's evens. Choose the word that best describes the probability that the spinner lands on the number less than 4. How many numbers are less than 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. So the probability of less than 4 is 4 out of 4, which is 1. So it's certain that it will land on one of the numbers. Part C. Work out the probability that Ralph does not get the number 5. Either you get 5 or not 5. So the two probability add up to 1. So probability of not 5 is 1 minus probability of getting a 5. 1 minus 0.4, which gives you 0.6. So I put this here to help you to learn this probability of something not occurring. So this formula in yellow, you need to memorize it. Probability of not A is 1 minus the probability of A. So its probability of not a 5 is 1 minus the probability of a 5. And there's an example down there for you to have a look at. So probability of not A is 1 minus probability of A. What's the probability of getting a 5? Is 1/6. Probability of not getting a 5 is 5/6, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other numbers you can get. And you can get only 1 for that. So learn that to help you. Number 8. Write down the mathematical name of this quadrilateral. It's a square, 4 sides, equal length. And to write down the name for part B is a cuboid. What you want to notice is the difference between a cube and a cuboid. You look at the thing, if this one clearly you can see it's a cuboid, the length there is longer. A cube, all of them are the same. Question number 9, work out the median number of books. So go person and the number of books. The median number of books. So what we do, we add the total. It gives us 22 books. The median is the n plus 1 over 2th book. So 22 plus 1 is 23. 23 divided by 2. So it would be in the 22 plus 1 divided by 2, 11.5. So it's the 11.5th book. So if we go 7 plus 9, that gives us 16. So the 11 plus 5th book will be in that number of books will be 9. The range is the biggest. 9 minus 1, it gives you 8. On the grid, draw a bar chart to show the information on the table. So for the first person, Zimena, it go up to 7. Martha goes up to 9. Kezia, 1. And Tabi, 5. That's the bar chart. Question number 11. Wayne begins walking at 8:30 a.m. He walks for 1 hour, 45 minutes. So let's change 1 hour, 45 minutes in total to put to 1 hour. So it's 60 minutes plus 45. So it's 105 minutes. Wayne then rests for 15 minutes. He then walks for 85 minutes to a cafe. So does Wayne get to the cafe before 12 noon? So what we want to do, we start at 8:30. I always like to draw a timeline. Very important timeline. Start at 8:30. 30 minutes will take you to 9 a.m. 60 minutes will take you to 10 a.m. So that's 60 plus 30 is 90 minutes. Now we want to get 105 minutes. So we'll have to add another 15 minutes. It gets to 10:15. So for 105 minutes, you get to 10:15. So you get up to 10:15 for 105 minutes, for 1 hour, 45 minutes. At 10:15, you rest for 30 minutes. That takes you to 10:30. This is 30 minutes. It takes you to 10:30. So you're at 10:30 now, and that's your 50 minutes rest there. From 10:30 now, you have to 11:55. 10:30, another 30 minutes. It takes you to 11 o'clock. And then plus 55 minutes to 11:55. So what's 30 plus 55? It gives you 85 minutes. So you get 11:55. So the answer is yes. Wayne gets to the cafe before 12. Question 11. Gabriel thinks of a number. He multiplies his number by 5 and then adds 7. So you think of the number, let the number be x. You multiply by 5, so it's 5 times x. And then you add 7. And the answer is 72. Think of the number x times 5 and then plus 7. Now we want to find the number. Minus 7 on both sides. You got 65 and then divide by 5. You got 13. Some books took a guitar. Some students took a guitar exam. Write down the modal. Modal is the most common. Which one is the biggest in size? It's that one, which is merit. Write down the modal grade. The modal grade is merit because that's the grade. That is the angle. That's the grade with the biggest angle. 7 students got distinction. Work out the total number of students who took the guitar exams. Look for distinction. 7 students, The angle is 105. So let's get 1 student. You divide by 7. When you divide by 7, you get 7 divided by 7 gives you 1. And then on the other side, you divide by 7. You do the same, you divide by 7. 105 divided by 7 gives you 15. So 1 student is 15 degrees. So it says work out the total number of students who took the guitar exams. So 360 degrees in total. You divide by 15, it gives you 24. So there are 24 students who took the exams. Question 13, part A. How many minutes did Rowena take to drive to the cafe? To drive to the cafe, they start at 12 o'clock and they got up to the cafe there at 12:30. So from 12 o'clock to 12:30 is 30 minutes. 30 minutes. Write down the distance from Rowena's home to the cafe. The distance from Rowena's home, which is here to the cafe, that's the distance, is 10 miles. It's 10 miles. And then the next part, on the grid, complete the travel graph. You can see there with the blue line, because it took 1.5 hours. So starting from 3 o'clock, you get home at 4:30. So 1.5 hours. So we started here at 3 o'clock. Rowena stayed at the beach for 1.5 hours. So stayed at the beach for 1.5 hours. That's 1.5 hours there. And then, so start from 1:30. 1:30 to 3 o'clock is 1.5 hours staying at the beach. And then drove home to get home at 4 o'clock. So come down straight that blue line there. Work out the average speed for the journey. Speed is distance divided by time. For the journey from the beach to Rowena's home. From the beach to Rowena's home is 35 miles. And the time is 1 hour. 1 hour. And the distance is 35 miles. 35 divided by 1 is 35 miles per hour. This is an example for you to practice that idea. Use this diagram. This triangle, speed is distance divided by time. The way I remember it is sausages don't talk. So you want to calculate the speed, you cover it. So it's the distance divided by time. And the distance there is 180, divided by the time is 3 hours, so 60. So practice learning that formula. It comes in every exams. Question number 14. 120 boxes cost £6. 270 bags cost £10. A bag is cheaper than the box. How much cheaper? Give your answer in pence correct to 1 decimal place. So 120 boxes is £6, which is 600 pence. £6, you multiply by 100 to get to pence. So we want to find pence divided by box. So how much pence for 1 box? So you divide by 120. You divide by 120. So 1 box will be 600 divided by 120. 1 box is 1 pence. 270 bags cost £10. To change to pence, you multiply by 100. You got 10,000 of them. So 1 bag, you divide by 270. 1 would cost 3.70. 127. So that is, you want always find for one, and the difference is 5 minus 120, so it's 1.29, which is 1.3. Number 15. There are only red bits and green bits in the back. Number of red bits to number of green bits is 1:4. There are 35 red bits in the back. Work out the total number of bits in the back. So we put red on the left and green on the right. It's good to always separate them left and right side. Red and green. And this 2 dot means is 2. So in maths, we say red is to green. 1:4. So we want to get 35 reds. So what do you do to get to 35? You times 35 on the left. You have to times 35 on the right. So 35 would be on the left for red, and 4 times 35 is 140. The total number, we need to add them. 35 plus 140 is 175. Question 16. Describe fully the single transformation that maps shape A onto shape B. So we want to go from A, where we start, to B. You have to get tracing paper. It will help you to quickly work out the center. Tracing paper, you put it over shape A, and then you keep trying the different center, but you find out when you put it at the center there, and you rotate it anti-clockwise, and then you get to shape B. So for this one, you will put your pencil on the tracing paper and keep trying different position for the center, and at different position, you will rotate it. You will try this center, put it on the paper, and then you will rotate it until eventually you get the one that gives you the rotation. The diagram shows the position of town T. Town R is 55 kilometers from town T on a bearing of 065 degrees. So 55 kilometers, we know 1 centimeter is 10 kilometers, given in the question. So 5.5 would be 5.5 times 10. It gives you 55 kilometers. So you measure 5.5 centimeters, and you get a protractor and measure the angle of 65 degrees. Measure the angle of 65 degrees. And then use a ruler to measure 5.5 centimeters. And you mark the town as R. So you will take a ruler and you put it there. And you would measure 5.5 centimeters. Number 18, one way to do it, remove the bracket. 4 times 2 is 8, so that will be 8x. 4 times minus 3 is minus 12. And then 20 on the side. You add 12, take minus 12 to the right. That means you add 12 to 20, you get 32. It's times 8, so you go to the other side, divide by 8, you get 4. Another way to do it is to have, I'll put it a different color here. Let's try this. So we have 4 bracket 2x minus 3 is equal to 20. I have to remove the 4 first. So you divide by 4. So you're left with 2x minus 3. 20 divided by 4 is 5. And then you add 3 to both sides. So 2x is equals to 5 plus 3 is 8. You divide by 2, x is equals to 8 divided by 2 is 4. So you get the same answer. So the first thing I did here was I divide by 4. Let me put the things I did so you know. I divide by 4. divide by 4. After that, I add 3. After that, divide by 2. Question 19. Jenny invests £3,000, 6 years at Y% simple interest per year. At the end of 6 years, Jenny has received a total of £450 in interest. Work out the value of Y. So we have for each year, because interest is the same for each year. So we have £450 divided by 6. You get £75. But let's look at it this way using that formula, simple interest formula. The principal is 3,000. The time period is 6. And the interest rate is R divided by 100. That should be equals to 450. So you want to find what R is. So put all of this in your calculator, you get the answer. And then 450 divided by that, it gives you R will be 2.5%. You can learn this formula for simple interest. Interest is P times R times T. T is time period, P is the principal, how much you put in. R is the rate of interest, and I is the simple interest. And just to show you a different one, compound interest is that one there. P is the principal, R is the interest rate, N is the number of times, and T is the time period. This other one at the bottom, we have to ignore that one. That one doesn't come in your exams. So I'll take this one off. It's just those two. For foundation paper, you see the simple interest has come. For higher paper, you need to know both of them. Question number 20. M squared and M cubed, it means you have 3 of them. So 2 plus 2 plus 2 is 6. Or you do 2 times 3 is 6. So it's M to the power 6. You add the 2 powers, 5 plus 8 is 13. Because the base is the same, x and x. Remove the bracket, 4p times p squared. There will be 4p cubed. And then 4p times 3p, it will be 4 times 3 is 12, so it will be 12p squared. So 4p cubed plus 12p squared. Each one is 1 mark. That's why it is 2 marks. That's question 21. One person drinks 2 cups. That's what it says. Each means 1. 2 cups means one person drinks 2 cups. So 800 people would drink how many cups? 800 times 2. So they'll drink 1,600 cups. And then 10.6 grams is what goes in each cup. 10.6 grams goes into 1 cup. How many cups did they drink? 1,600 cups. So 10.6 in 1 cup. So for 1,600 cups, you times 10.6. You get 16,960 grams. But we want only 68% of that. So because it's only 68% drink coffee, not everybody drinks coffee. So 68 over 100 times 16,960. You get that answer there. Which to the nearest gram, 0.8, you round it to 1 and add it to 2, it becomes 3. So 11,533 grams. Now they tell you there's going to be more people drinking that coffee. Instead of 58%, there's 72% drinking the coffee. So it's 72 over 100 times the same number there. And then you get 12,211.2. If you subtract them, the big number minus the small number from above, you get 678.4. So the amount of gram needed has increased because there's more people drinking the coffee. If you have enjoyed this maths revision through the past papers, please don't forget to share this information to other students to come and join the club. And the website is www.anago.com. It's easy. Share it to other students to join. And any questions you have, please don't forget to WhatsApp to this number, and I'll make a video for that question and put it as well onto the group for you. So you've joined an exclusive club. This is a club where I help all the students that I teach mathematics until they succeed in their exams. So that's my guarantee. Once you've joined, you'll be getting help on any questions you have until you succeed in your exams. There's nowhere in the world, there's no tuition, there's no school that will give you that kind of support. And my support is 24/7. When you send a question to me, I'll provide the support for you. So thank you for joining Anago.